The crypto narrative next bull run will have real world assets in here. In this video, let's break down the top real world assets platforms. Where's the money flowing? Is the money going to go up? And how you can capitalize on this real world asset boom. Here we go. So if you've been in crypto for more than a couple months, you've probably heard of these things called RWAs. It's real world asset, and how everything is going to be tokenized and on the blockchain. But let's actually break that down here. Is this something that you should have in your portfolio? Is this a category that you should be investing in? What are some of the top real world assets projects? Let's break that down in this video. And always make sure you hit the like button if you believe in real world assets. All right, so let's jump into this. You can go to app.rwa.xyz and we can simply see RWAs are not new, right? They're literally putting private credit, they're putting commodities, they're putting stable coins, they're putting public equity, they're putting US Treasury debt on the blockchain, okay? You can see here that it is increasing. You know, right now the real world assets on chain, which means on the blockchain, whether it's ETH or Solana, coming to blockchains is at 27.8 billion. There's over 300,000 holders, 274 issuers. These are companies putting things on the blockchain. Over here, we can see if we go to stable coins, okay, this is a really, really big one, all the way to the right-hand side. You know, I dropped out of college, but I can look at this pie graph and clearly see there's $158 billion in stable coin market cap on, guess what? Ethereum. Probably should pay attention to that. You got some Tron money, which I don't believe in. You got some Solana money. And you can clearly see here, okay, the dominance, right? You know, in stable coins is USDT and USDC. Those are the two big ones. Bottom left-hand corner, these are the issuers. These are the platforms issuing these stable coins, right? Tether's up there. Circle, the creator of USDC, Athena, MakerDAO. Then you have US Treasuries. You know, this money is coming on chain. Now, this is interesting. ETH has a big piece of this. So if you believe in real world assets, let's actually break down what real world assets are, because you might not even know that. Here's the risk and rewards. Let's break this down for you. Okay, we don't want to see this ad. Thank you. Okay, let's go down here. First, you got to understand real world assets, your house, your car, but why would it go on blockchain? Okay, this idea of tokenization. Use blockchain technology that powers cryptos to create digital tokens. My house becomes a token. This land becomes a token. This land becomes a token, and one token can be divided into 10 tokens that create the one token, and everybody has a piece of it, right? And it's confirmed and secure on the blockchain, not a deed or not a title. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they're like, well, I had to go get the title to my car, and it was in a different state because I couldn't sell it. I mean, that's just ridiculous. You have to fly somewhere else to get the piece of paper. Absolutely insane. Okay, that should be confirmed on the blockchain. I love this. You used to have to sit there on a Thursday night and watch Seinfeld. You tune in at a specific time, and you don't get to choose your program. You couldn't be watching a program like Squid Games from Korea. Netflix was market expanding in the same way I think the tokenization of real world assets are expanding. That's a great example right there. So tokenization can happen on every single blockchain. It can happen with, a car or a house or even real estate. Well, there's already properties all around the world. This is one that just happened in, I think this is Qatar or Dubai, right? For over 1.75 million tokenized villa in under 5 minutes. So there is tons of different owners or assets or people that have a small piece of this all on the blockchain. Take a look at this. This is an article from ft.com. Tokenizing e-liquid assets globally could create a market worth between 2 trillion and 16 trillion by 2030, according to estimates from McKinsey and Boston Consulting Group. Tokenized home equity alone could be $3.2 trillion. BCG estimates and enable borderless access. So if I'm in Mexico and I want to invest in U.S. infrastructure, U.S. real estate, you have to do all these paperwork and you got to come to the U.S., you got to have all the LLCs. But imagine somebody that's in South Korea or in China could invest in real estate by just owning a token and having that token in their wallet and then getting paid that dividend literally through the blockchain, which is possible and which is what is happening. Take a look at this. It's not just in real estate, but it's also in stocks. The Nasdaq is seeking, right, tokenized stock trading. The Nasdaq today on September 9th, as I'm recording this, just invested $50 million into Gemini. They're pushing crypto. They're pushing tokenization. Okay, and the SEC, who now has a pro-crypto government, is going all in this space. Take a look at this. In a filing Monday, the New York-based exchange operator proposed a rule that would let stocks and exchange-traded products trade in either traditional or tokenized form. And this is slowly preparing everybody for a 24-hour, 5 if not 7 days a week stock market. Because if it's tokenized and it's on blockchain, blockchain doesn't sleep. Okay, blockchain is open on Christmas, the banks are not. Blockchain is open on Thanksgiving, when the banks are not. Okay, take a look at this. Platforms like Ondo have been building the foundation. All my students, we've been covering this for probably like almost 2 years now. August 28th of last year. Look at that date. Very interesting. Building on Build, how Ondo leverages BlackRock's tokenized treasuries. So BlackRock invested in this company called Ondo Finance. Go research that. Okay, my students grab some under 70 cents. Okay, BlackRock and Securitize launched Build's token. They had also partnered with Circle to ensure 24/7 liquidity between Build and USDC, while Build fund itself can take up to a full business day to fulfill redemption requests. Circle agreed to initially allocate 100 million USDC to buy Build at any time. This was made possible both due to USDC and Circle. Okay, let's go down here. We decided to improve our OUSG product, not only by migrating the vast majority of its reserves on Build, but also instant 24/7 stablecoin redemptions. So if somebody, let's say, were to sell a property, or somebody wanted to get out of, let's say, just even a stock, right? If I buy a stock this morning and let's say it doubles by the afternoon and I sell it, there's what we call settlement time. That's ridiculous. I shouldn't have to wait till Friday to use that same cash. It should settle on the blockchain immediately. And that's what's going to happen here with things like Ondo. And that's not just going to be for stocks, but for treasuries, for gold, for commodities, for everything. Okay, take a look at this. This is the Ondo. Okay, now they're not available in the US, but $100 million in TVL in the first week of Ondo opening up their stocks. Okay, so they've migrated over like 100 stocks on the blockchain. So you can see it here. You can see Amazon, Ondo version, Tesla, Ondo version, Amazon, Nvidia, SPY, HIMS. You can literally see, okay, in this video, Intel. These are tokenized versions of the stock. So if you're in Nigeria, Africa, and you can't participate, you could essentially buy this stock, and it's going to be a one-to-one derivative of the original price. So if you're Tesla on Ondo, if you buy that and Tesla goes to $1,000, guess what? On chain, you have $1,000 derivative or credit per se, and that's what's going to be revealed or shown in your wallet. So exciting times. Borrowing and lending against. Now, this is going to be available for those that are outside of the U.S. Okay, Ondo is going to be not available in the U.S. for obvious reasons, because the banks are going to be doing this, and their banks are going to want you to be doing it through them and not through things like Ondo. But you can see Franklin Templeton, BlackRock, all involved in a platform like this. And then you have Securitize, another platform, okay, giving clients access to crypto, enable your clients to invest in crypto strategies and institutional and whatever. This is going to be, Securitize is going to be for like the big hedge fund managers that want to bring their funds, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars on chain. Securitize is going to tokenize those funds and give investors tokens that represent, like a share value or a share price. So I think the future is tokenization. They've already brought over $4 billion on chain, over 575,000 accounts. They're working, with Van Eck. They have an ETF, Mantle, BlackRock. Obviously, BlackRock runs the world. So in the comments, give me your thoughts on real world assets. There's a ton of other projects that are in this space, more than just Ondo, more than just Securitize. and you can go to rwa.xyz and see all of those different projects. But let me know in the comments your thoughts on real world assets.